Greetings and salutations, my fellow guard owls. This is Muerte Chris. I just wanted to attack a little video based on the owl with La Santisima Muerte, what it is to be a guard owl, and how I came about the name of the guard owl. We're not really going to focus so much about the name as to how I chose that and how it came about for me. We're going to focus a little bit more on what it is to be a guard owl. Now, not everybody that's out here, practicing with La Santisima Muerte knows anything about, that owl that's on the statues. A lot of people are very confused. A lot of people questions a lot, what does that owl specifically mean? Where does it come from? For a lot of people, it's a mystery. For a lot of people, it has a lot to do with Mexican brujeria. I'm not really going to particularly focus on that. What I'm going to focus on is my particular message on that. Those words, guard and owl. For me personally, when you're a guard owl, especially for myself, making a YouTube channel and as a tarot reader, you give messages. Not everybody that works with La Santisima Muerte is a tarot card reader, and not every tarot card reader out there is a practitioner or a devotee of La Santisima Muerte, obviously. But when it comes down to the practice of La Santisima Muerte, with La Santisima Muerte, a lot of people start to dabble with the tarot cards. When you do this, a lot of respect comes along with it. In my particular practice, in my experience, I had no teachers. As far as it went, a deck of cards were handed to me, and I was just told, let's see what you can do with them. And with that, I began to read. And from that moment on, I began to see for my own self that there was something going on. For myself, the tarot cards became nothing more but a tool. When it really comes down to the practice of La Santisima Muerte, you will find yourself more times than none when you come to her as a Roman Catholic folk saint of last resorts, just like St. Jude. A lot of times you find yourself not having a whole lot of friends. A lot of times, a lot of you out there will find yourselves with family members that have turned your backs on you. And you find yourself almost as a lone wolf. Or, better yet, a lone owl. When you think of an owl, it's not oftentimes you see them in big groups. You don't often hear about them in big groups. Owls are very lone creatures, but they're very skillful. They're very knowledgeable. And they see everything. When you get into the practice of La Santisima Muerte, most people come to her as a devotee of last resorts. You've basically almost lost it all for some people, not everybody. In my personal experience, I came from almost losing it all. It was a very hard journey to get to where I'm at now, and I'm still on that journey. However, one thing that I have definitely learned about that owl on that statue is to be very vigilant. Because when you come to La Santisima Muerte, and not just La Santisima Muerte, but also St. Jude, another Roman Catholic folk saints, there's various ones. It's not just her, it's not just St. Jude alone. There's various ones of other last resorts. What they will teach you is don't just come beckoning to their feet and face them. They will teach you, so you came to me kneeling and facing me, but now turn around and look at the outside world and look back at what you just left. What have you learned from that? And why are you here? What is it specifically that you're trying to do? Yes, you may need some help. Everybody needs help. But you and specifically, you can't just expect the Roman Catholic folk saints, or any spirit for that matter, to help you out if you ain't going to do some work too. You got to do some work. You got to look inside of yourself. You got to be able to look back and see what you're leaving behind. A guard owl is somebody that is able to turn their back on their old self and yet look back at their self and leave behind sometimes certain friends. Friends that are not good for you. For some people, maybe not all people, in minor cases, but there are those cases where you have to leave behind a certain job. Because maybe it's not good for your mental stability. Maybe it's messing with you in a certain way. Right now we're living in some times, in some very serious times, where everything is at question. And some people are becoming at question as well. You and specifically are finding yourselves to be the major question. In the times that I live in right now, what do I stand for? Where is my place right now? With everything that's going on, all around me as an individual. You got to keep your guard up. You got to look out for yourself. Not only that, but for the few that are around you that have not turned their backs on you, it's for a specific reason. Maybe you're there for them too. There is something to learn in everything. But the only way to do that is to be on your guard. A lot of us think that those terms, quote unquote, be on your guard, means you can't trust anybody. I don't trust it. No, you can trust some people. But that term, be on your guard, in a self-inclusive way, is the wrong way to do things. Be on your guard with those around you. Guard them too. If you've never heard this term before, let me be the first one to tell you. Show me who your friends are, and I will tell you who you are. Think about that for a moment. That's what it is to be a guard owl. Don't just guard yourself, but guard the ones around you. Don't just observe everybody around you, but observe yourself as well. La Santisima Muerte teaches a lot of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's what it is to be a guard owl. For me personally, in my practice with La Santisima Muerte, with my devotion to La Santisima Muerte, with my experience with her, that is what that owl on her statues that we always see in those pictures when we look her up online. Every time that owl shows up, that's us. That's you. Gaining wisdom, gaining knowledge, gaining understanding, being observant. Because in the times we're living now, you have to be observant. I know I'm not usually that in depth with my videos, but I figured it's about time that I really start hitting hard with these videos because, you know, we are living in times where, I mean, let's face it, we're living in times of last resort. We're living in times of where you're putting your faith in. What are your hopes? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? How are we going to get there? Let's be honest, ain't nobody out here can do it alone. Not with the times we're living in. That's what it is to be a guard owl. To perch up and check out everything around you. But then when you check out everything around you, how does it affect you? Then check yourself out. See where you stand. And if some things in that don't seem right, those are the things to tackle. Those are the things to meditate on. We can't always come to La Santisima Muerte and ask her for this and ask her for that and ask her for protection. What about asking her for knowledge? There's a lot of people out there, you know, on YouTube and elsewhere online and blogs and who knows what, spell books and this and that, teaching you, oh, you can do this with La Santisima Muerte and do this on a plate with and put, you know, all sorts of things. And yeah, we can do all that. But when was the last time you worked on you? When was the last time you went to La Santisima Muerte and asked her, help me work on me? So that's what I'm going to leave it on. That's what a guard owl is. To keep your guard up for yourself, for those around you. Pray for each other, love each other. Keep your guard up. Don't just go asking her for money and to just get a job and making spells here and there. Yeah, we can all do that. There's lots of people doing that. But what about for ourselves, you know, up in here? So that's where I'm going to leave at with this little message on this video. I know it was a little in depth, but it's just something that it crept up on me, and I started thinking a little something, and I just had to put it out there. All right, guard owls. I'll see you later. Muertero Chris. Al rato.